Genuine intelligence often speaks not through the fastest reply, but through the quiet pause that comes before it. In today's age, quickness is too easily mistaken for wisdom. Yet throughout history, the most enduring insights of humankind have emerged not from haste, but from the delicate space between stimulus and response. It is within that pause that awareness awakens. A conscious mind is never rushed. It allows perceptions to settle in the present moment, observing reality with unfiltered clarity. What Eckhart Tolle calls presence is not a lofty spiritual abstraction, but a learnable discipline. Once this ability takes root, we begin to perceive the world as it truly is, free from the dust of memory and the fog of future worry. As the haze of memory, judgment, and conditioning begins to fade, the outline of reality sharpens. At the core of this awakening lies a quiet yet profound truth. The way you look shapes what you see. The famous double-slit experiment once questioned whether mere observation could alter the behavior of particles. Beyond the realm of physics, the same principle applies to everyday life. The quality of our attention determines the nature of our experience. When your awareness stems from stillness and clarity, you uncover new dimensions within familiar events. A challenge, depending on the consciousness you bring to it, can unravel into confusion or open into wisdom. There's a vital distinction to be made here. Being present is not the same as thinking about the present. As Tolle reminds us, the moment you silence the endless current of thought, a natural clarity begins to surface from within. This clarity is not born of logic, but of intuition, a deeper knowing that reason alone cannot reach. The strength of a conscious mind lies in this: the ability to sustain awareness without being swept away by thoughts, to remain centered even amid constant noise. Presence is not an escape from life. It is a descent into it, a full immersion where the senses awaken and perception stands bare. Simple yet powerful practices can make this state of awareness tangible. When a tense conversation arises, rather than reacting on impulse, pause, return to your body, take a few conscious breaths, and feel the air flowing in and out. This alone recenters the storm. In moments of emotional confusion, ask yourself, is this feeling genuine or just an echo of an old habit? That single question places control back in your hands. And when thoughts start to swirl endlessly, writing them down becomes an act of release, untangling the mind's knots and revealing the quiet need hidden beneath each impulse. A small reminder before we move on: if these words have sparked something within you, consider subscribing to our hidden channel, leaving a like, or sharing your thoughts in the comments. Each reflection adds depth to this shared journey. Your insights turn these ideas into collective wisdom. Every thought you offer, every story you share, becomes a doorway through which someone else may find their own light. Living fully in the present unveils the hidden layers of life. You begin to notice subtle glances, quiet pauses, and small details that once slipped past unseen. It feels as though you've tuned into a finer frequency of wisdom, one that can't be found in books or borrowed from others' minds. The ordinary mind seeks to control, but the conscious mind learns to receive. And in that openness, life itself transforms. Moments that once seemed accidental begin to reveal a quiet sense of purpose. What once appeared as obstacles now show themselves as invitations for growth. Gradually, an inner order replaces reactivity. You start making choices not from fear or urgency, but from balance. And this shift doesn't just improve your decisions, it redefines your entire relationship with existence. As the need for control fades, the quiet strength of simply being here begins to grow. Paradoxically, true transformation doesn't come from grasping tighter. It begins the moment you let go. When you are fully present, life no longer pulls you along. It opens itself before you. This state isn't born from theory, but from practice, a form of mastery that can be chosen again and again. Each time you leave autopilot behind and step into conscious self-direction, a subtle but powerful shift occurs. You don't merely exist anymore. You participate in life's rhythm with awareness. And because life only ever unfolds in the now, the deeper you live within it, the closer you come to genuine transformation. The second pillar of conscious creation is emotional mastery. This isn't about denying or repressing emotions. It's about the art of feeling deeply without being consumed by what you feel. Imagine the mind as a still lake. When storms of anger, fear, or anxiety arise, the waters churn and the depths disappear from view. In those moments, decisions blur and perception bends under the weight of emotion. But when you learn to stand as a witness rather than a captive of your feelings, the lake begins to settle. Clarity returns and life starts to reveal answers that chaos once concealed. Eastern wisdom calls this awareness the inner witness, a vast space where emotion can be experienced without distortion. As Viktor Frankl beautifully said, between stimulus and response lies a space, and in that space we hold the power to choose. Within that choice lives our freedom and the quiet evolution of the self. True power begins in that subtle space of awareness. It's a concept often echoed in spiritual manifestos, yet widely misunderstood. Creation is not about forcing outcomes, but about aligning with them emotionally. Emotion communicates identity far more deeply than intention ever could. Instead of declaring, "I want," it silently affirms, "This is who I am." When your thoughts, emotions, and actions move in separate directions, life feels fragmented. But when they fall into alignment, the signal you send into the world becomes coherent, and what you encounter externally begins to mirror that inner harmony with remarkable precision. This way of seeing is not naive optimism. It isn't about painting emotions in brighter colors, but about learning to navigate them. True neutrality is not indifference. It's the highest form of inner mastery. The neutral center is the still point where profound transformation begins. When you face difficult choices from that centered space, instead of reacting in the heat of emotion, regret fades and wisdom takes its place. Practical methods make this attainable. Meditation, for instance, is far more than a tool for relaxation. It is an art of inner observation. You watch thoughts, emotions, and sensations arise and pass without attachment. Keeping a mood journal reveals hidden triggers and repetitive cycles, turning awareness into understanding and understanding into quiet reprogramming. Emotional intelligence shows what intuition has always known. Our emotions shape every choice and every bond. Manifestation isn't about forcing outcomes, but aligning with who you already are. When you act from that truth, life begins to reflect it. Peace comes not from escape, but from clarity. A calm mind chooses wisely, stands firm, and transforms chaos into creation. As awareness deepens, effort turns to flow. Freedom begins when we drop the drama of memory. Old wounds dissolve into wisdom, and relationships become mirrors of presence, not pain. Through stillness and steady practice, the mind rewires itself. This is neuroplasticity in motion. As inner coherence grows, life responds with synchronicity. It's not luck, it's resonance. To live consciously is to shape reality through clarity, emotion, and gratitude. Intention directs, emotion fuels, action grounds. And letting go completes the cycle. In the end, transformation isn't about speed, but depth. In silence, the truest intelligence speaks, presence.